Buckle it up and suck it back, because today we're talking about noted comedian and also overweight person Amy Schumer, who cannot stop popping off, quite frankly, about Israel, Palestine, and probably tampons or something. Plus, we talk about the Nashville Shooters Manifesto and how maybe Bud Light is actually to blame if you think about it, which I always recommend you don't do. All of that and more when the show starts right straight away. Welcome to the Vagina Predicament. My name is Steve Vagina. I'm a moderate centrist, bit of a milquetoast fence sitter, and I just got to tell you, I do not pee my pants. A lot of folks in the lying garbage mainstream media are claiming that I, quite frankly, repeatedly relieve myself right into the front of my pantaloons. They're saying I don't even wear a diaper. I'm just going right there in front. Is there anything MSNBC won't lie about?
Stop obsessing over my urine, Jake Tapper.
Now, to be fair, these repeated and again completely spurious claims of some trouser moistening do come from a series of pictures wherein there is a wet spot right where the head of my, and get the kids out of the room for this one, out of the room, where the head of my penis would be. But, and this is important to note, these photos are actually of Liam Neeson. Now, you might be wondering why the star of Taken 3 and The Commuter, and to a lesser extent Schindler's List, is relieving himself in public without the use of a restroom. And so I just got to say what we're all thinking. Those photos are obviously CGI. The way Liam Neeson is hung, that stain would be around his knees, and also the room would be flooded. So I can only presume that they took Liam Neeson's medium handsome face and put it on the body of another noted tall communist Irishman, Joseph Robinette Biden. Also, all those pictures of Hunter Biden's dick, those are also Liam Neeson.
Tell the American people the truth, Hunter, if that is your real name.
See, that's what I do on this show. I always say, I'm just trying to give you my unique perspective on politics. Make sure you really understand them and are smarter than all of the drooling morons who, instead of watching my show, choose to, read a book. I don't believe in spin. Except for the show Spin City. Charlie Sheen years only. I just believe in giving you the straight truth about all the terrifying things that are currently on their way to your house to trans all your kids and then convince all your trans kids to kill you and then break apart all your MASH DVDs. And that brings us to today's topic. Why has MASH not been released on Blu-ray? I think we all know. It's obviously the Oh, wait, what? Oh, we're on their side now? Okay, cool. Well, whoever's holding it up, release a Steelbook 4K of MASH, you cowards. Speaking of the desperate need for medical attention, remember that school shooting that happened back in April, I think 3 or 4 school shootings ago? It took place in Nashville, Tennessee, which has spent the past couple years undergoing a transition of its own, becoming something akin to an open-air bachelorette party. And it makes sense that in such a lewd and lascivious environment, someone would finally take a gun and decide to met out God's purifying vengeance upon the proles. Duh. This particular mass shooting had a twist. No, it's not that the shooter had a tiny dick. Turns out they didn't have a dick at all. Which actually is kind of the tiniest dick possible, if you think about it. Anyway, this shooter was transgender. This is on you, radical left. This wasn't like all the other mass shooters who, again, I strongly disavow, but maybe wear a sweatshirt with a QR code leading to my YouTube channel when you're out there doing your, Anyway, the other shooters claim they watch my show. But this lunatic mass shooter, who again had the world's tiniest dick, was a radical leftist, as evidenced by their adherence to gender ideology and also by their terrible haircut. And these suspicions were only confirmed this week when the shooter's twisted, with a Z, manifesto was released to the public by none other than me. I did it.
You're welcome, America.
A lot of people are asking where I got these manifesto pages from, and then immediately threw my logo on, because if there's one thing I want to associate with my brand, it's a mass shooting. And I tell everybody, my inside source was, of course, Lieutenant Colonel Nunya. Nunya business. Listen, did a police officer try to sign up for my Patreon and ended up somehow accidentally emailing me a 280p video of him cheating on his wife with a woman that is medically described as fat even for Tennessee? So maybe I had some leverage? Maybe, maybe not. I'll never tell, except to say, yes, that's exactly what happened. Anyway, all of us here in the moderate centrist sphere kind of had our fingers crossed that maybe the manifesto had a bunch of trans bullshit in it. And we're like, I don't know, maybe they just wrote like 1,000 times in their own blood, cis white men are the real gay. And then at the end, before passing out, they just wrote down, Rachel Maddow made me do this. And then, but as Mark Twain once said, you can't win them all. No trans stuff in there. There was some disgusting anti-white racism. For example, they used the horrendous slur, which is easily the second worst slur for white people after a high school graduate. So obviously the real enemy here is our old friend, critical race theory. God damn your soul, critical race theory. When will your reign of terror ever cometh forth end? For a little reminder, critical race theory is the study of race-based politics that, of course, reinforces the idea that white children suck shit and their butts smell. Critical race theory is not, as it turns out, when you sit in a circle and are critical of other races. But it could be that. It's not too late to set that up, Ibram X. Kendi. So yeah, the mass shooter was a radical leftist, so chalk one up in their category. Meanwhile, us moderate centrists, big fat goose egg. We have never inspired any violence of any kind. And sure, some folks, like the male prostitute who allegedly, some are saying it's never been proven, don't sue me, YouTube lawyers, was of course having sex with Paul Pelosi and hitting them back walls in a way Nancy never even could. Did he claim he watched my show? Listen, on the stand, did he claim, quote, I love the Vagina Predicament. It's my favorite show. I'm literally currently wearing a moderate centrist do it on both sides t-shirt. No one can say, science can never know. But A, the mainstream media is reporting it, so you know it's a lie. And B, he was watching the show wrong.
That being said, you're not getting a refund on the XXL shirt, Pepe.
This show is anti-identitarian and anti-violence. It is pro one thing, and that is winning, okay? You, and also me, some call it we, are winning the culture war. Brie Larson's hit film The Marvels was one of the biggest box office bombs of all time, thereby proving we need to stop transgender surgeries on kids. And electorally, there were votes recently, I've been told. Were they for us? Were they against us? Who is us, really? What is reality? Point is, we hate the whole government. We just want the whole darn thing to get torn down. So in a way, no matter who loses, we win. And that's why we need to stop transgender surgeries from being performed on children. And also, girls need to wear pink dresses all the time, and boys need to wear blue shirts with pictures of penises on them so I can tell them apart. Again, I disavow all violence everywhere, which is why I have always, this whole time, been opposed to the Russia-Ukraine war. Yeah, I've been willing to say it's bad, and also entirely is Joe Biden's fault. And if you disagree with any part of that, you are to the right of me on foreign policy. Israel-Palestine, though, that one's a little tougher. I'm not quite sure whose side I want to be on. I mean, on one hand, Israel has the Mossad, which is maybe the most alpha group of badasses of all time. And also, Gal Gadot was in them briefly. But on the other hand, they are kind of, secular humanist adjacent, if you catch my drift. And also, Palestine has Hamas, which are maybe the least woke people of all time. You think you hate gay people? Hamas hates gay people so much, if you're gay, they'll literally force you to become trans, so you're technically a woman while getting fucked by another man. They're so anti-woke, they've circled back to being progressive. The future is wild. Anyway, both sides have been engaged in a brutal and bloody war for well over a month now, with death tolls ranging anywhere from 17 to 500,000. It's tough to know for sure, given how both sides have outlawed science. Number one victim of this conflict is, of course, innocence. And second place number one victim is, of course, America. Because we now have another rift in the culture war that is enveloping this nation. On one hand, we have the radical dingus left who cannot stop being dingist. You can tell them, hey, buddy, lay off the dingism. They go, I want to ding. I love to ding. Okay? They're out there opposed to Israel. And quite frankly, being anti-Semitic. For dumb reasons, like civilian casualties, not for good reasons, like, making all the Star Wars sequels bad or 9/11. On the other hand, we have, of course, noted untalented comedian Amy Schumer, who has been posting on social media under a banner that advertises her new Netflix special and also all her tour dates for 2022, that she would like to bathe in the blood of Palestinian children, and Martin Luther King Jr. would have given her an atta girl. Also, if you go to her website and click on videos, the first video is a trailer for the movie I Feel Pretty, which came out and ate shit like 5 years ago already.
Make another terrible movie, Amy. Your website needs content.
Over on Instagram, she's been posting a number of very chill and normal things, none of which seem to have been accompanied by a wine glass being thrown into a wall. If you scream genocide but were silent about the massacre of October 7th, you might hate Jews. If you call for a ceasefire, but not the release of the hostages, you might hate Jews. If you oppose Israel's right, there's like 3 pages of this. Aren't you a comedian?
Believe anything like that could happen.
Man, this new season of Inside Amy Schumer sucks.
Where she is, I have no idea.
In this one, she says she actually loves Muslims. Well, put on a burqa and prove it, you fucking poser. Okay, this one's just celebrating her mom's 75th birthday. But it actually still kind of fits because after Amy was born, this old woman's pussy looked like a Tel Aviv music festival, if you catch my drift. Oh great, Blossom has thoughts. Okay, another wall of text. Do you know Instagram is for pictures, Amy? Okay, this thumbnail is of Hillary Clinton, so I'm just gonna mute myself and scream for about 30 seconds. I recommend you do the same. Okay, this ain't bad. Oh wait, this isn't Amy Schumer. This is Twerks a Lot. I don't know. Still relevant though. Maybe send this over to the Middle East. That'll, solve the whole thing. So listen, we could sit here all day and discuss Amy Schumer's social media feeds and also other more butt-centric social media feeds. But at the end of the day, what we have is an age-old blood feud between two forces hell-bent on destroying one another. I am, of course, referring to Amy Schumer and myself. Listen, we were both on a late-night talk show back before she was famous and after I had tricked a Fox News intern on mushrooms into believing I was. We were debating sex before marriage and also after it. She was on the pro position. I was on the anti for everyone but me position. It was a normal, chill debate, and I don't think it was appropriate for her to level some personal attacks about how I'm, quote, not a comedian. I do comedy all the time, okay? I just got off tour. I was hitting every casino in Maryland outside of Baltimore, okay? I was with my buddy, the Road Dogs, Jim Brewer, Dennis Miller, and of course, Jim Brewer's brother, Ted Brewer. He's even louder. So yeah, Amy, maybe I do hold a grudge, but that's not going to change my position on the Israel-Palestine war, which is, of course, to agree with everything you say and support Israel completely and totally. I am anti-war, but I'm also pro not being called anti-Semitic online, okay? My YouTube channel's hanging on by a thread as it is. Also, Amy, I am willing to open up for you and or have sex with you. Also, you're a fat pig who's never been funny. Please hire me. I desperately need medical insurance. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. I love y'all. You gotta like and subscribe. You gotta. It's not optional. We're enforcing it, okay? As soon as this bill gets passed through Congress, okay, which is gonna happen any day now, You're gonna have to like and subscribe. You're gonna have to support me on social media. I got my links. They're all down there. They're all over the place. I'm on X.com, which has always been called that. I'm on Instagram, okay? I'm on TikTok, all right? And I'm on Patreon, all right? That's the only important one. Who cares? Who cares? Don't do the other shit. Just give me $5 a month. Shut up. Give me $5 a month. Shut up. Eat my butt. Fuck you. Love you. For only $5 a month, which is nothing. You get exclusive bonus content. I have to burp. You get a free video every single week, okay? You get behind the scenes footage, the raw footage, script, PDFs. You can ask me questions. You can vote on songs I play in the live stream. And of course you get an executive producer credit, baby. You get to be an executive producer. Didn't you always want that when you were a little kid? Like, someday I'll be big. I'm but a wee kid now. Someday I'll grow up and be a big one. Then I'll be an executive producer of a show that has never inspired a mass shooting. All right, guys. I love y'all. Oh, you're the best. You're the best anyone could ever hope for. I got more content coming your way right soon. I love you. And until next time.
Wait, what was the name of that movie Amy Schumer made with Goldie Hawn? It was called like Snatch or something. Bet that sucked too.
Shut up and sit down.